So today I was kind of brought back to like an old feeling that I used to have when I was a lot younger. And so I decided to share it, right? And so basically what happened was, you know how like sometimes you be with friends and like you all are friends, but like sometimes those people want to hang out with just like themselves. They don't want you to be included, right? Like it's a very like awkward thing sometimes when you have a friend dynamic or like a working friend dynamic, like whatever it may be. And like, you know, like knowing how to like be like, oh, I just want to hang out with this person today and like not you. Well, anyway, basically, I'm sure you can tell from the story what happened. There was a conversation that was had with me, and it was basically to the effect of like, oh, I might, you know, come by later on, right? And then like the two got like weird, like, you know, you could just tell things are like why would you say that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, like, I think that it's something that's natural. I think a lot of people do it. I am at fault of doing it before with people that I just didn't know how to like say, no, you're not invited, right? But it just made it like awkward. And like, then I was like leaving. I was like, oh, I'm gonna like, you know, head upstairs real quick or whatever. And I turned around just to say something else. And then one of them made a face to the other one. Like they were like, you know what I mean? No, they don't know that I saw that, right? And like, hey, like no smoke off my back. You know what I mean? I think what's really hard is that it was strange that so quickly I was brought back to like a child's emotion about this. I don't know. It was a very weird feeling. But what happened in the midst of me feeling this way, I started to just kind of process things, right? And started thinking about like, wow, like it really is hard to let things go. Like legit, like everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, and as I am going through my life trying to learn how to be better at just shaking things off, right? Like those little like annoying things that happen in the day, you know, like you just want to be like, my whole day is over, I'm ruined. I'll never make it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and if it doesn't happen for y'all, I want whatever you want. But like daily it happens to me. Like there's something that is an inconvenience of my life and it upsets me, or somebody says something wrong and it rubs me the wrong way. And like, I am working on being just releasing it in that moment, right? Like I get into it with friends sometimes. I know, shocking, right? I get into it with friends sometimes and like, I'm not one to like really hold anything in at this point. Like I'll be like, I didn't like the way you texted me on July 17th, bitch, 1992. I don't know, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm really like, well, if we're here, like, let's put it all out on the table. Because in life, and I wish this was taught, like, I don't understand why as humans and as people who have literally built an education system and like all this kind of stuff, why did we not ever think about teaching people how to be real life human beings? Like adults, right? Like beyond like bank accounts, beyond like loans and like college things, like all those like basic human things like emotions and like how to process those emotions. Why do we not think that's important? But you want me to learn like trigonometry. Like it don't like I like the skills that I needed to become a successful adult, I didn't really gain them until I learned them on my own or someone taught me, right? Like, so it's just very funny how we don't really put a lot on like learning how to get over things. You know, like we go through things daily and you wonder why some people are walking around nasty and mean and attitudes and like don't like the world. You know what I mean? You get cheated on by your partner, you're angry for a while, most people. And half the time, some of those people just go and like thop and bop around because they feel empty inside and they don't know how to say nothing and they don't want to say it and just talk about it and like release it and like deal with the ugly and the emotions. And like realistically, what happens a lot of the times in these kind of issues with people, not even in relationships, is that it's usually one person trying to be like, you did this, you did this, you did this. But then when the other person wants to come back and be like, well, since we're opening up, right? Since we're talking about our feelings and our emotions and our needs, let me tell you how you have not done it for me, right? A lot of people are uncomfortable having that side of the conversation. Baby, not me. Not me, honey. I've been mean. Oh, I've been short. Okay. Well, let me tell you what you did then, right? You know what I mean? Like, and I guess some people would say that's petty. That's like a tit for tat kind of situation. I don't see it like that. I see that as open dialogue, communication, and like some things you let go, right? There are a lot of things people do, and I'm just like, Like, it ain't worth it, right? If it's really worth it, like, you'll know, right? Like, I'll pull it to your attention. But a lot of people hold the little things in and they let them build, 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 build. And then next thing you know, you can't hold it in no more. And now you look crazy. You know what I mean? But like, honestly, like, really the art of letting go is really a life lesson that like you just learn as you kind of get older and you go through situations, right? Like, and I think you start to learn like what type of people you want in your life and all these type of things. And what's funny is, as a 31-year-old, I'm saying I didn't really I didn't really like grab a hold of this until I was like 29 years old, which is crazy for me to think, right? So all through my upbringing, right? Like, I've just always been like that kid. Not that girl. But like, it just was always kind of hard to like have friends. You know what I mean? Just being who I was and growing up gay and feminine, like all these things, like, you know, like people like thought I was like a freak, like legit. Like, I got teased a lot, I got bullied a lot growing up. And so I realized what I had to do was I had to start inserting myself and making my presence known, right? And I've picked this up maybe when I was in like middle school. I think I realized it. And I realized it because a good friend of mine in middle school, he was a straight guy. He stopped being my friend when people started making fun of him for hanging out with me. You all. And at that time in my life, heartbroken. Like, couldn't understand why. It's really, you know, the reason why I have such a love for slow R&B songs and love songs and like breakups and things like that is because that is the music I would listen to whenever I would go through something with like friends, right? And like, so it's just very funny how like the emotion connects. But yeah, so it just has always never been the easiest for me. And so as I've gotten older, right, I've had some really great people who have come in my life who are no longer a part of my life for whatever reasons, you know, and I think now in my life, I have a core group of people in my life that like we kind of understand each other. We're all adults. We all work. We all don't have the right like time, like not the right time, but we all don't have so much time where when you were in high school and college where you could just go hang out with your friends for hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Like now we have to plan, like we are the people that now have to plan to hang out with our friends, right? And like, it's one of the reasons why I like try to go on trips with my friends. It's why I try to celebrate my birthday with my friends. It's why there's reasons why, you know, you do everything, right? And like, I think once you start to think about like, well, why do I do this? It starts to like go into like, well, what happened when you were younger? Like, what triggered this? What did you hold on to that just kind of grew with you? And like, now it just kind of manifests in different ways and different actions and different things that you do, right? I thought about it. I went through like this whole like emotional moment where I was like, wow, like nobody wants to hang out with me. Like, what's wrong with me? It's because I'm like me and blah, 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 blah. And that's not even it. People are gonna be people. How profound is that? People are gonna be people. Let me get in my Oprah bag. Hold on. People are going to be people. And at the end of the day, everybody will always do what's best for them. And as somebody who does it too, like, it's just a part of moving and grooving through life and learning to let things go and being like, okay, like, it, you know, like, I don't see them any different. I don't feel any way about it. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, like, anyone that hang with me, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm going to bring light to it. Oh, I see y'all have plans. LOL. You know what I mean? Like, girl, like, but I don't know. It is just very, very weird. And like, so today the message is just let it go. Like, for real, like, what is it? Like, just let it go. And it's not easy to let everything go so fast. But at some point, you got to start letting these things that attach to you when you were a child go. And this is serious. Like, you really do have to learn how to like break down these walls that you built as a child to protect yourself because of whatever reason, because you didn't get the love from your parents, because you were bullied. I don't know, because you were black, because you were white, because you were fat, because you were like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you have to start looking at yourself and healing the inner child that needs the healing. You made these walls, you became the person you became, but you never went back and dealt with that initial pain. And a lot of people are walking around here hurt. It is one of the reasons why I truly feel like dating is the way dating is. And some people have a really easy time dating because, and this is just my theory. So don't nobody come for me in the comments if you one of these people that just hop and bop in relationships, because you do. The reason why people hop in relationships so bad is because they have issues with being alone. Let's talk about it. And this is coming from the person who has been single for years now. Through those years of me growing, I had to learn how to be by myself. And I had to learn how to do things by myself. And I had to learn like how to love me. And like, what do you love, right? Like, what makes you happy? What food do you want to eat? What movie do you want to watch, right? Like, it was really me re-falling in love with myself, right? I think the reason why so many people are so quick to want to hop into a relationship or attach themselves to someone or be somebody is because they're lonely and they don't know how to deal with it. And it comes from like either parent issues, it comes from like you being bullied, like so you have this fear that you're always going to be alone. Like it can be a lot of things. And realistically, think about it from this way. Thinking that you're going to die alone is a scary thought that nobody ever talks about. Like seriously, like nobody really ever brings that up, right? And so I think what I've been doing for the past few years is just challenging certain ideas and thoughts that like, what if I don't find a partner? And this is not to be sad. This is me standing in what I have learned and what I believe has healed me along my journey of life, right? Like I could be completely wrong. And I am not 100% healed, honey, and I don't think you ever become 100% healed. Let me just say that. But I think it is important for humans to understand that like, it just might not happen, right? Like the things you hope for and you dream for at certain ages, like if I had the dreams that I had when I was 15, what I thought I would be like as an adult, I would have a whole different life, let me tell you, right? Like a whole different life. But my life made its journey and like I'm here today and like strong and independent and like happy and like, so it really is just learning your journey and letting things go along the way and not holding on to everything. You know, like you were hurt, you were sad, you were broken, but you do not have to stay in those conditions. You can find your strength. You can find the love that you deserve. Like it's out there, right? So I just want to share that. I really need to get that out. I felt that and not even being funny. I really did feel that. And so I'm trying to get better at just turning the camera on when I'm feeling these modes and like filming it, right? Like letting it out and like giving these jewels, right? Because like, if it helps other people, if it makes other people just stop and think, like then I've done literally what I've always wanted to do in my life. So like, I'm not going to hold back on like this, right? And it might not always come out correct. I might not always speak correctly or like use the right words or whatever, but like no shame. Like, this year is all about not having any shame about who I am, you know? And so, yeah. All right, you all, I'm gonna leave it there. Tell me what you think. What y'all think about it? Like, what's the message? What's y'all message for today? It could be something totally different. Give me a word, okay? All right, you all, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.